Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Robot Tech. My name is Scouter007, and I am with Smokinace007. How are you?
Not too bad, just living life as always. How about yourself?
Living the dream, is what they say, right?
Living the dream. LTD.
All right. So hi, we're two handsome individuals. We talk about podcasts. I did it again. We talk about games every month on a podcast. Well, I don't know why my mind keeps
We don't
saying that.
review podcast, Scouter.
I mean, honestly, what is there to review? We just know this one because what else do you need? We usually go quickly, very quickly. We try not to spend a whole lot of time talking about video games and video game topics. So usually we discuss. Well, if you're new here, hi. We talk about
weird.
I don't know. We talk about games that we played last month, just a quick run through, and then maybe upcoming games or and then we pick a topic to talk about blabberly for an hour, the rest of the hour, and we try to do it in an hour, but sometimes it doesn't work that way. But we'll try. We do the things. So, you know what? You go first, sir. Why not? I went first too much.
For games that I played, I finally learned the entire speedrun of Metal Gear Solid 3, and I've done 3 runs. I submitted one finally.
Top 10?
No, not quite. But I am almost already at my first goal of getting it to under 1.5 hours. The last run that I completed just last night, I got to 1:30:16, I believe. So just need to save a few more seconds. But I know there's some big spots that I could make some improvements on. So I'm excited about that. But as far as my gaming goals for the year, I have now successfully submitted 2 speedruns of games. I do want to submit more, so I am going to exceed that goal for this year. As some other games that I played some more Breath of the Wild. I'm still working my way through trying to beat that game. I'm still not as big of a fan. It is getting a little bit better, but it's just not really my cup of tea quite yet. Started getting a little bit back into Red Dead Redemption 2, which I want to finally. That's going to be I'm going to try to make that my game to beat next podcast because
it's been a while that you haven't discussed. I'm very concerned. I've been committed to the wheel. Why haven't you, sir? No.
Hey, I'm going to get to that in a second.
All right.
Because the next game that I'm going to mention is a game that I completed last month finally, which I forgot that I hadn't finished this game because I was only 3 missions from the end, but Horizon Zero Dawn. I still don't know why I never beat that game because it's fantastic. It is a great game. If you have a PS4 or now a PS5, and you have the ability, with one of those consoles, I very highly recommend checking out Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a really fun game. In all honesty, getting back to it, I like it a lot better than I like Breath of the Wild. I know some of that. Yes, I am a big PlayStation fanboy, I'll admit that and whatnot. But I love my Switch too, and there's a lot of games I love on the Switch. But I like the world of Horizon better. I like the different strategies you have to do to take down the machines. I just like a lot of it. There's a lot of fun to be had with it. It's a really good game. You could definitely lose many, many hours in it. There's so many side things you can do, but if you want, you can kind of go straight forward on the story like you can in most games. For last month I did complete Horizon Zero Dawn, so I just need to make up one game for last month that I didn't get, but other than that, I'm on track. I still need to get a couple more platinum trophies, but yeah, no, as far as games that I played, a couple other games here and there for an hour or two, but how about yourself, sir? What have you played within the last month?
Sorry, I'm just looking at Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm trying to remember it.
If you didn't play it, I think you might like it. You should at least check it out because it's there are robots in it, and they do in fact attack you.
All right, you signed. Wow, man, that sounds like a great podcast name. Anyways, yeah, that's great. Honestly, it's good to hear, and I'm surprised. Today, I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. Today, or last month, I guess, played Fallout 4. That was on my wheel. It's very difficult. It is a difficult game. It's Bethesda. So if you don't save, you gotta go 10 miles back. So it's fun. Really frustrating fun. And I played Resident Evil 4, of course. I mean, shush. Pimp Leon.
When are you submitting the speedruns? Come on.
God, man.
Get on it.
I really need to study that. And I do want to. It's just... Yeah.
It's a time commitment, for sure.
Well, the guy, like I said, I think I mentioned this, JTB, who I watched, and AGDQ, he has a tutorial, but he's streaming, so he's like, hey, Smokinace or whatever. So, obviously, the hour and whatever long it takes to record that took longer, so maybe I'll do it in 1.5 speed or something.
No.
And that way I could, but then I'll miss, I don't know. And then, it was Pimp Leon, Gangster Leon. It was fun. And then the coin game, which just a little bit of it. I had it and wanted. If you don't know, it's like an arcade. I think it's VR mode too, but you could play it. But basically, you could either have unlimited money or set a limit to yourself and play arcade games. It's really cool. Definitely very kind of indie-esque kind of game. Definitely check it out if you haven't. Ready for this one? Blood Bowl 2.
I was there for that stream.
Man, it's such a... I don't know what I'm doing. It's such a frustration game, and the only reason I played it was one of the streamers I watched was playing it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to play it again. And then Superliminal was also the game of this month. So Fallout 4 was last month between our podcasts. And Superliminal was... And then, it just melts your brain. It just melts your brain off. RimWorld, of course. I recorded the story of KKR. Just thinking Fortnite as usual with, Unbound and KKR as well, and trying to think, that's about it, really. I'm just trying to think. Man, I'm boring. This month is terrible for me. But anyways, so we'll move on to our main topic.
Wait.
Sea of Thieves on Sunday, because it's Talk Like a Pirate Day.
No.
Playing it solo is not ideal. You need friends with that game.
What are friends?
Right. I don't
Please
have
explain
any of those.
this concept. One quick note, because I know you're a big fan of the indie games.
Mm-hmm.
A game that comes out later this month, actually September 28th, is called Unmetal. For anybody who doesn't know, it is an indie game that basically pays homage to and also sort of follows along the lines of an old 2D top-down.
Oh, I can see why you like it.
Yeah, it is.
Metal Gear Solid.
Yes, it is a love letter to Metal Gear Solid. I have played the demo of it on stream. The demo alone is hilarious. The writing is already amazing. The items that I've seen, the way you get some of the items, the interactions, or the combinations you can make with the items, that game I feel like is going to be awesome. For anybody who's played even the more modern Metal Gear Solid games, but it definitely harkens back to the original Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2. Um, yeah, it's go onto Steam, check out the free demo. I think you'll be, rolling in stitches on the ground.
Speaking of rolling in stitches to the ground,
Oh, so good.
Lost in Random came out.
Oh yes,
It's
yeah.
the same. It's the same soundtrack as Blake Robinson, who, if you don't know already, like he's the guy who made the Stanley Parable music. Maybe a potential future podcast, hopefully. Maybe we'll see. I tried. Anyways, so I haven't played that yet. I really itching to play it. It's so I really want to play. The game looks gorgeous. And anyways, if definitely check it out too. So anyways, anything else? We're good.
Nope. I just wanted
Sorry
to
to
mention
interrupt.
that I will definitely be.
I couldn't leave that segue out. So
I will definitely be talking about Unmetal in the next podcast for sure.
I definitely will try to play the demo now. I saved it on my wish list right away. Look, you did the thing.
Yes,
So,
I did a thing.
So today, I actually thought of this on stream one day. Forgot which one, but regardless, I thought it'd be a good idea to talk about like game develop companies. So like, what makes you maybe follow them? Like, you probably know the answer for me, but I don't know yours. But like, what makes you like? Follow them on Twitter, follow their other games, like, what makes you, like, commit to liking them, or not liking them. There's a few that I don't like, as well. You probably could name two of them, at least one of them.
Play.
But, well, yeah. I will end this call, sir. So, I just thought, what kind of mentality would you be like, you know what, I'll follow them on Twitter and follow, their other stuff. So, I thought that'd be a good topic for this month. So, do you want me to start?
Yes,
you could think
please,
about
please
it more?
do. Please do.
Well, as you said, Clay. Clay could do no wrong, as I mentioned before on this podcast. But I would think, like, I think for me, you have to, like, it has to be more than one game. So I think with Clay, it started off with Don't Starve, but that was in the beta, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. And then Don't Starve Together. Yes, it's basically, now I can play with friends now. And so it's fun, and it has really it's a good game, and like I think that what makes me follow them, if it's like more than one game, or like, you know what, like, who makes, for instance, Sea of Thieves, and then I do that every once in a while. I click the store page and I'm like, oh, this person, this game developer, Rare. Okay, what Halo Infinite, other games like Age of Empires. See, like, I didn't know they make this stuff.
Country.
See, they made Flight Simulator. So, this would maybe, but it doesn't, I feel like it doesn't convince me enough to be like, yeah. I think for me, it's very difficult to, like, for EA, for instance, that's one of the companies I probably will hate, because they really, really upset. I feel like they're not for the gamers. A lot of DLC, as you know. Oh, speaking of EA, while we're on this topic, real quick, you were mentioning Madden last time. A new Madden game, right?
There is a new one coming out. Yes, I believe I think I mentioned
you
it.
played in it?
I'm not sure if I will or not yet.
Oh, I thought you mentioned that last part. Okay.
I mean,
that. I saw there's. So, anyways, I'm getting to the point here of EA just copies and paste. I mean, I could launch NHL 13 and then launch NHL 19, like the new NHL game, for instance, I saw the trailer and it's like, oh, more like more pretty, like snowfall, like if you're outside, snow falling, or like you zoom in and like the ice skates or whatever, and like more pretty, like graphic wise. But I'm like, yeah, that's great and all, but the AI, please, for the love of God, I don't get it. Like, it just really drives me up of a wall. And man, they literally just copy and paste 19, 20, 21, just copy and paste, copy and paste. I mean, I don't know if you noticed that in the.
Oh no, it absolutely.
I mean, yeah, they'll add some features, but it's in terms of like AI and like, it's a joke.
The biggest juxtaposition that I see with sports games is between FIFA and Madden. In real life, I love American football. I love watching it. I like playing it with friends, if we can, things like that. I have a lot of fun with it. Soccer, I don't like watching on TV. I don't find it enjoyable. I don't like it. But I love playing both video games. I love playing FIFA. I love playing Madden. The thing that drives me insane is kind of like you were talking about AI and things like that, but it's more so collision detection.
Yeah.
So in FIFA, you can maybe make a slide tackle on a player, and you can see where your player slides down, they catch the ball, but then their back foot catches the other player, and then they stumble or they tumble over them or something. It's pretty realistic. It's not perfect in every single, slide tackle or fall or trip or whatever it is, but it's pretty close. The ball physics are really well done. Passes go where you want them to. If your players are good enough and things like that, the movement of the ball is good. Switch over to Madden, also made by EA. Both games are made by EA, EA Sports. And you have players that are half walking off field and they barely touch another player and they go spinning off, or right. You have a pile up after a tackle and one guy gets up, he stands up, and then he falls over again just randomly. Like, I just don't understand where the disconnect is. Like, I don't know if the assets that the FIFA team have, they can't take the core of that physics engine and put it in Madden, or if they don't even talk to each other. I don't know how it's broken up. I don't work for EA. I've never toured EA's, any of their headquarters or their buildings or anything. But it just seems like if you told me that those two games came from the same company, I wouldn't believe you. Because even just the collision detection of the players seems so different from each other. And I mean,
yeah. Sorry, you could.
Oh,
I need to stop interrupting
you. The last thing I was going to say is one thing that I do understand, and I'm not a game developer, so take this with a grain of salt. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
It's called Zach Fierce again.
Yeah. So I have no idea what goes into it and stuff. But one thing I know, that in football, you're more likely to have a group of players together. So I'm sure that presents a physics nightmare. Whereas in soccer, generally you're going to have, at most maybe 4 players kind of all together. Maybe one defending, while 2 are kind of fighting or something. But so that might be a little bit easier to make that collision detection better, because it's generally a 1-on-1, 1-on-2, 2-on-2 situation. So if anybody's watching that has worked on video games, has worked on physics engines and things of that nature, please let me know. I'm sure that does present more of a difficulty. But at the same time, they've been making Madden games for... I don't even remember what the first one was. The first one I remember having, I think, was Madden 98 or 96 or something, and I know they made them before then. So you would think that making this game every year, they would be able to finally hone in. And I know hardware changes, and you make a new graphics engine or a physics engine or this or that, but at the same time, it just seems like they're two different worlds, and but from the same company.
So I was just thinking, like for instance, who buys EA game, who buys those NFL games is people like you. You will always buy them. Like people. I mean, again, the only reason I bought, like, I think it was NHL, was it? Whatever had PK Subban on it, because he was a Nashville. Like, that's the only reason why I bought it. Like, I wanted a Nashville Predator, one of my favorite team player. Like, I was like, hell yeah. That's pretty much the only reason I bought it. I haven't bought one since maybe 20. I'm just looking around because I thought I had stuff like laying around here, but I want to say like the last one I bought was maybe 15 or 16. Like, and I know the one with PK was like 19, but like, people like us you love football, I love hockey. I'm gonna buy those games, so that's who they're tailoring towards.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
like, so they don't need, like, with, I feel like FIFA. I mean, like you said, there's not very many. Man, I know maybe one person who likes soccer. My friend who likes soccer, and so people like him will buy it. But like, yeah, I know that's a lot of people that like that. So I think like they know who their audience is. Like,
yeah.
Oh wow! Like for instance, like I was tempted to throw money at the new, because it looked gorgeous, the new NHL. But I'm like, remember, Scouter, remember that they're gonna just copy and paste the AI, and like literally the skate, like just the game controllability of, like, I want to skate backwards like that. It's just so annoying. It drives me up a wall.
Going a little bit on what you're saying really quick is, like you said, they know their audience. They know, yeah, I'm most likely going to buy football because I enjoy watching football and everything.
Go
they know.
Wisconsin.
Incorrect.
See, that's the thing too. Like, they're smart. Like, they're now like getting more like, I like minor teams more than I do the bigger leagues. So like luckily they're getting like these lower sports league, like college. I mean, college has been in EA, like NFL stuff for a while.
And college's NCAA football is coming back because they finally
because it was separate, right?
Yep. And they're
because I remember I still probably have it. I think on GameCube, like a college game, and then is a
and then there was the whole, without getting into a huge old legal thing that I don't fully understand because I'm not a law major, but yeah, it was because they were using college players' likenesses, but the players weren't able to collect any money for that, so it became a thing, so they weren't allowed to make NCAA football games anymore. But since they finally passed the law that said that college players can now start signing endorsements, we will be getting NCAA football finally back, which has generally been a better football game than Madden, but it's, again, made by the same company, so it's still mind-blowing. But anywho, that's besides the point. The point I wanted to make really quickly was, like you said, they know their target audience. They know, I like football, you like hockey, we're going to buy those games. They don't need to market to people who don't like those sports. Like, for PlayStation, MLB The Show, I love baseball. I like the show games. Those games are really well done. They're not going to try to do something different and radical to get somebody like you, who isn't a fan of baseball, to buy that game.
Yeah.
Because they know there's plenty of baseball fans that are also gamers that are going to buy the game, so they don't need to, and how much can you really change a sport? the major sports that we have in the United States and around the world have been around for how long? What can you do in a game that changes it that much? They can't add new, weapons or new armor or a new setting or something. They're not going to make Madden's not going to make a fantasy world like Skyrim for football. That might appeal to more people, but some other company's going to do that, like Blood Bowl,
Like,
for example.
well, yeah, well, like if you slap a sticker on, like you said, you know, something like a RimWorld, and I see AA, and be like, what the? Where are you coming at, EA? Like,
Yeah, yeah, and that's a whole different venture for them, a whole different genre or something like that. But yeah. Anywho,
like for instance, the most recent one I could think of that I followed was Zoink. My friend, well, our friend Can Sandwich was talk. Well, he told. I think it was he redeemed a game for. I got channel points that you can redeem to make me play any game that I have. I should disclude XCOM because I should not have that on there. But
you own it.
yeah. So Zoink, Stick It to the Man was free. He made me play it, and then I liked it. It was really funny and really artsy, and I loved it. And he's telling. Of course, Zoink is the one who made Lost in Random. So I followed them before Lost in Random because I was like, okay, this game is gorgeous. It's indie. They also making Lost in Random, who's again, I wouldn't know about Lost in Random if it wasn't for Blake Robinson making the music for it. And I saw some other people tweet about it. And again, I said this on stream too. Like, it takes me like if I see a trailer, like let's say I have no idea about a game, like it takes me a while for me to buy a game. Like let's say, like let alone buy it, then let alone like it, then let alone like it enough to follow the company. So like Clay, for instance, I like Don't Starve. I like Don't Starve Together. I like Oxygen. I mean, Oxygen Not Included. I feel like I need to play a little bit more. Just it's a little bit difficult. I know the same thing with Don't Starve. It took a while to. When I saw KKR play it and he survived to winter, and I was pretty impressed by that with him not playing it before. Like, I don't think I survived that long. Like,
there's winter.
Right?
Just kidding.
Like he like I tried to help him, and obviously like I have, it's just every time I play that game, I always try to like explain. What's going on, like how do I get stuff and what I need, so that way if you're watching me, I mean, same thing with Resident Evil 4. I played that game thousands of times, and I always will still like to play. I'll still like to describe, like, okay, we got to go over here, and this is a strategy or whatever. And probably same thing with you with Resident Evil. Yeah, right. With games that you like. Metal Gear Solid, like you're speedrunning now. I'm sure eventually it's gonna be sick and tired of we're gonna go through this door. Like,
I don't know if that's possible.
All right, I love it too. I love it too much.
For the time, I don't do it nearly as much as many other people. Some of the speedrunners that I've started to follow more now that I've kind of gotten into the community a little bit. I am nowhere near their level. And I know there's a lot of times that they'll, finally get that PB goal they're looking for, and they're like, you know what, I'm switching to a different game because I've put enough time into this. So, and I haven't gotten there yet because I haven't put in that time. So for the time being, I'm still having a blast, and it's still incredible.
Yeah. So, like for instance, Blizzard, until recent events, I followed them, and then I unfollowed them. Because I played Hearthstone, I played, I played HOTS, Heroes of the Storm. That's the one. I usually, my friend at the time called it HOTS. We, I played, and I followed them, but yeah, obviously with recent events, I'm not following them anymore. But it's I guess that's one you know one company that it just I guess for me, you gotta do something right for me to I'm not gonna follow Bethesda because you know so far I don't like any of their games. I mean, I know they play Fallout. They have Fallout. I mean, they have Wolfenstein. I never tried it, and just Skyrim. And oh man, it's just so frustrating that you have to start all over, and just oh my god, it drives me up a wall.
Hey, pro tip: start a file in Skyrim, get through the intro, and then make a save, and then never save over that because then you don't have to go through the intro again.
Mm-hmm.
You can just start from the second you take control and do everything. Yeah.
So
I had my 20-hour way back when I had my 20-hour Skyrim saved over, and yeah, 20 hours in that game is nothing, but at the same time, that's still 20 hours into a game. It took me a long time to restart the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm following Intervision Software, and I'm looking at their stuff. They only made besides Prison Architect, they have DEF CON, but I just mostly follow it for Prison Architect. Because I would say these games are in my, as much as I don't have really a top 5 top games of all time, I'm always going to come back to Prison Architect. They're in my top 10 for sure, because I just don't know where to place them, that's the thing. Someone needs to start just graphically hours played or something and just determine that Scouter, this is your list, deal with it, and
any statisticians out there,
right?
hit us up.
Just well, I mean, you can obviously look at your play.
You could throw it into an Excel spreadsheet and throw it into a graph pretty quickly.
Yeah. But... See, again, I'm looking at my top. It goes Rocket League, Prison Architect is number 2, RimWorld number 3, Frontier, Planet Coaster, Frontier I follow because I know they make Planet Coaster. They made, and then Don't Starve and stuff like that. So yeah, Prison Architect. I would say it's almost gonna beat Rocket League. It's almost 10 hours, and it'll beat Rocket League. 24. I would 24. Play Prison Architect for 24 hours.
That'd be a lot of Prison Architect.
Oh, speaking of it, anyways, I'll stop. You go. What kind of makes you... Is it the same thing? I mean, do you love EA no matter what they... I don't know what garbage they put out?
For me, a lot of times... Until more recently, I never really thought too much about game companies specifically. I've said it before on the podcast. I will try just about any game for at least a little bit. Back on the PS3, every week, it used to be, I think it was Fridays, and then it became Tuesdays or something. Every week, every day that they would update the PlayStation Store, I would go in and I would download every new demo they had out. I didn't always play them, but I always downloaded them. As long as I had space on my hard drive, obviously, because I thought, hey, it's a free little snippet of the game. I might play it and fall in love with it. That's happened on plenty of games. Of course, I can't think of too many examples right now. 2 examples that I could
give you some examples, sir. The ones on cereal boxes that we talked about in the previous podcast.
Yes, absolutely.
Literally, they're smart. I mean, again, luckily enough, I really... We mentioned this on a podcast before, by the way. But I really, companies really need to, it's more the indie games that are doing the demos, because I think it's a genius idea. If you're getting to get 20 minutes or 30 minutes of a game, rebuilt the zoo. Yeah, it looked. I really was gonna buy it, but then I got the demo, and I'm like, now I really gotta buy it. Like,
But here's the thing, and I remember seeing an article years ago. I couldn't tell you what website or anything I saw it on because I do not remember. But they were talking about like the science of demos. And statistically, and this has probably changed, and I am
quote
paraphrasing.
Smokinace, everyone.
I get out of here. Um, and I don't know if these numbers, I'm not even going to say any numbers or anything, but I think in the article that I saw, they basically said statistically people are less likely to buy a game if there's a demo of it.
Hmm.
And again, I don't know what that's based on. I don't know if
They
it was
base it off of
somebody who
mice.
was salty or something
Clearly,
like that. But you always run that risk. If you give
gotta
away
look
part
this
of your
up.
game for free, you run the risk of somebody playing it and going, you know what? Maybe I don't really want this game. Or, you know what? That was enough of the game for
But
me.
I guess the same thing goes as what you could do that on Steam now, where I could buy a game right now. Let's say I could
That
buy a
is
game and
that is
refund it.
true.
I mean, how is that
True.
any different? Because eventually,
Uh,
I said this. Eventually, you're gonna probably buy a game down the line. So if you spend, you know,
mhm.
$20 on a game, and then you don't like
But
it, you're gonna probably spend $20 on whatever you want.
but on the flip side of that, that is also like the kind of mentality of rebates, where yeah, sure, insert box store here, get a $20 rebate on this. If you buy this refrigerator, get a $200 rebate. They are banking on a good majority of people either forgetting or losing or not redeeming that rebate within the right amount of time, because if everybody cashed in that rebate, they would lose how much money. So with Steam, yes, you can get a rebate or a refund. And I don't remember. Don't you have to be under a certain amount of playtime and a certain, all this, some of these other factors? They're banking on most people being, to, for lack of a better way to say it, too lazy to process that refund.
Hmm.
So yes, you are absolutely right. You
Yeah,
can buy a
that's the
game.
advantage too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, same thing with instant TV subscription here. You get a free month,
absolutely.
or that's what companies do. Please
Yep.
enter your credit card,
Yep. And
and
then
then
as
you
as
forget.
then you get that email and you go, shoot,
I
I
mean,
meant to
like
do
even
that.
even with no offense, like subscriptions. I subbed to somebody. How about this? I won't say the name. I subbed to somebody, and I was like, and then they renewed me, and I'm like, no. Uh, I mean, as much as
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
love the streamer, I don't really sub to people unless you know, I really enjoy them. But and depends on if I like you today. You know, Smoking Ace, you did good last month, and you're live and streaming. I'm gonna sub to you. No, uh,
Um, but anyway, back to the topic at hand.
sorry,
No, 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 you're good. I went off on a huge tangent.
I did.
For me, but what I was getting at with that whole long spiel was basically I play, a ton of games. Yes, I am more likely to check out games from publishers and developers and stuff that I know. One good example, I used to play Assassin's Creed, every new one that came out, because I fell in love with the first game. I enjoyed it. It was a whole lot of fun, and they left such a big cliffhanger. I was biting, chomping at the bit to get a Assassin's Creed 2 because they left the first one at such a cliffhanger. So then it was I don't even remember, it was a few years later it finally came out. Great game, had a lot of fun with it. Ubisoft makes pretty games. The worlds that Ubisoft builds look great.
Internet and international games too.
Yeah, and so I was more inclined to buy games from Ubisoft because I
International
used to like
errors.
Assassin's Creed a lot. I don't dislike Assassin's Creed now. I just they came out too often, too regularly, and I got, lost in other games. A perfect example of a company or a developer or a director that had a huge influence on me, and this is going to be a surprise to no one at all, is Hideo Kojima and Konami. Metal Gear Solid was a huge staple of my childhood. I remember playing borrowing Metal Gear Solid 1 from a friend and playing it nonstop all the time, and trying to find all this stuff and just get immersed in this world. And then when we heard that Metal Gear Solid 2 was coming out, that we saw in a PlayStation Magazine article that I had that had a whole story on Metal Gear Solid 2. That article convinced my friend to ask his parents for a PS2 for Christmas.
No.
He wasn't going to get one.
Right.
He was like, nope, I'm happy with my PlayStation 1. I'm not even going to bother. We read that article thousands of times hanging, and he then he wanted a PlayStation 2 because of the way Metal Gear Solid 2 looked. And now, Kojima and Konami have parted ways, and Kojima has his own studio. And as soon as I heard about Death Stranding, I was instantly interested. Now, a lot of people didn't like Death Stranding. It is getting a director's cut coming out later this month. I believe it's actually the same day as Unmetal. I think it's September 28th.
All right, I'm buying it. Jeez.
Good. You should.
I mean, play the demo.
I may actually be giving away some copies of it. But anywho,
I know a guy. No, I'm joking.
But yeah, because I like the worlds that Hideo Kojima has built, I like the style of gameplay that he does, I am more likely and more prone to playing, or at least checking out, any game that he makes. That's not going to say that I love everyone. I haven't played. There are two older Hideo Kojima games that I really want to play. I haven't done it yet. Snatcher and Police Knots. I just haven't checked them out.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard if you like Kojima, then you're at least going to be interested in these games. But yeah, no. When it comes to things like that, if I see like Quantic Dream, that's another company. They made Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, Detroit Become Human. They've made some really intriguing and interesting worlds and gameplay that there's rumors, and I heavily stress rumors, that they're going to be making a Star Wars game. I love Star Wars. I love the
What?
I don't know where they started, and I hate video game rumors. I hate leaks.
Because you get your hopes up for nothing sometimes.
Exactly. My opinion is, if you
Still
don't
waiting
know,
on Resident Evil 4 remake.
Resident Evil 4 remake, Half-Life 3, Metal Gear Solid remake, Silent Hill remake, insert a million games here, and all that rumors and speculation and stuff do are get people's hopes up to then just crash and burn, possibly. So my philosophy is, if you don't know, then shh.
Sorry.
Just shh. No. That's I'm just saying. Oh. I hate seeing articles. Yeah, no, sorry, I wasn't shushing you.
Sorry, I was like, okay.
No. The parenthesis, the quotes of my philosophy is, if you don't know, shh.
Well,
so yes, I apologize.
The game company for Unmetal, I just clicked on it. They made Banner Sega, which is pretty popular, and sorry, I interrupted.
No, you're good. But yeah, no, I am. Just from what I've seen, the creative director, I believe he's the creative director. I apologize if I'm misspeaking in that, but the mind behind Unmetal also made a game called Unepic, which I haven't played, but I really want to try it out. I want to check it out because I'm so interested in Unmetal. I want to see some of his other work. And there's another game that he made as well, called, let me find it really fast. Ghost. I think it's just called Ghost.
Hmm.
But I'm
Yeah.
also interested in checking that out because I've played the demo of one of his games, and I'm really intrigued to see what else he's done and what he's going to do in the future. So yeah, for me, when it comes to game companies, I don't. There aren't many that I'm a hard and fast. I'm going to love this game because this company made it. End of story.
Right.
I'm more likely to check out games like Square Enix. They make some really great RPGs. I love the Final Fantasy series. You know, so if Square Enix has their name tied to an RPG, I'm more likely to look into it. I like a lot of the games that Bethesda has made. Fallout, Skyrim, things like that. I'm more likely to check out more of their games in the future because of the impact that their other games have already had. So it's
I
like I
mean,
said.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, Valve. Like, what kind of these like you pretty much mentioned it and pretty much nailed the head for this is like you're likely to follow these like big like Valve. Pretty much, if you're a gamer and you don't follow Valve, something's wrong with you. Like, and Bethesda, even Bethesda, I guess. But for me, it's not my type, and like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's very.
Blue Point Games. They were the ones behind the Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3 HD remasters. There's many times when you hear a rumor about a Metal Gear Solid remake, one of the first companies to come up is Blue Point because it just makes sense. They did such a good job with 2 and 3, making them shinier, making them a little bit better quality of life and things like that, that it just seems like a natural fit for them to go back and remake Metal Gear Solid 1 or Metal Gear 1 or Metal Gear 2 or things like, things along those lines, or even a modern, a remaster of Metal Gear Solid 4, which is still the greatest game in my opinion. But maybe they could come back. The game still looks beautiful. I don't know what they
You're
could touch
beautiful.
up, how they could make. Aww, you're breathtaking.
No, sorry.
Sorry, Keanu. Um, but no. When like I said, when it comes to developers, I don't really have a hard and fast rule. But yes, there are companies that I am more likely to listen to if I hear, oh, so and so is showing something at the Tokyo Game Show, which is coming up here at the end of this month, or E3 or something like that. I'm more likely to check out a conference from a company that I've heard of before, that I've played games that I like. Um, you know.
Yeah,
I just like video games.
I just like video games. Heck with the companies. Yeah,
If a company makes a game that looks like a game I want to play,
I'm gonna play it.
I'm gonna play it.
Regardless of the game company. I just thought of it. I thought again, for me, you have to do something for me to even buy your game, let alone
Oh, that
like
that
the
is
game, let alone.
completely fair.
So
Just like with, I know we've talked about it before, and please take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, Scouter.
yeah, let's go.
Are you calm?
Yeah,
Are you
we're good.
relaxed?
Yeah,
Put yourself in a state of zen.
go.
Sim City. Okay, calm down. When that came out and everything,
Sorry.
yeah, I was salty
See,
with
EA. See, yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, this is the prime example of what I was talking about. EA doesn't care about you. They don't care. They care about money, and I'm not dictating that. No.
Hey, if it's in the game, it's in the game.
It's all they care about. I don't have money over there. It's money, and I'm not putting up with it.
Are you just pointing at your big old stacks of
had-
money back there?
I thought I had money. I think they're in the
I just imagine you like turning your chair and we just see like
stacks.
stacks and stacks of just gold and
I mean,
jewels.
that's why I have my chair here.
But yeah, no, like I said, when that whole issue went down and came out and everything, yeah, I was salty with EA for a little bit. Is that going to stop me from ever buying another EA game? No. If it looks fun and I want to play it, I'm going to play it.
Oh, I'm mad at them, but yeah, I'm probably most
Yeah,
likely to
yeah,
probably stupidly buy something accidentally. That
accident. Oh, it just fell in my cart.
yeah, whoops.
One click buy, but
I
or
mean,
even like with
Command and
Star Wars.
Conquer, Sims 4. Yeah, you're gonna buy something from EA. You know,
Yeah, and one of the things about
Battlefields,
that is Battlefield.
and then
Oh, I'm so
Mirror's
excited for
Edge. I mean,
2022.
they,
The thing with with bigger companies,
oh lord.
they most of them have such a variety that even if you're mad at this hand is going to have a game that you enjoy.
But we could all agree about Bethesda or Blizzard. Sorry, Blizzard. Do not buy their games. We could all agree on that one.
But like the smaller indie developers, they may only have 3 games out, and they may not be super diverse. They might be diverse, but they may not be super diverse because they don't have that footprint yet. Now, that doesn't mean that Clay or some of the other indie developers aren't one day going to become these huge powerhouses that have
Telling you, soon.
massive reach.
I'm waiting.
It could happen.
And I'm gonna be
How-
laughing.
How many video game companies have started out, 2 people in a garage just throwing a game together? I mean,
I guess
Matt-
I misquoted this year about like Among Us and like indie games. I guess I just feel like it's just gonna. Again, I think I posted it in my Discord, for instance. They had the sale of like these indie games, and like even I see on Switch all the time like indie world or something. It's getting there.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
You could say what you want about indie games, but I'm still laughing, eating my chips here, saying I
You
told
have
you so.
chips? What flavor?
I don't know.
I want some chips.
Barbecue. Power Watch. Like I've been watching Power Watch Simulator, Grass Cutting Simulator. Like it's stupid stuff, and these big streamers are playing it, and man, it's just...
like we mentioned, Viscera Cleanup Detail, a game that has no right being fun.
But here we are,
But it's a
playing
blast.
it every year.
It's a blast. It's a fun time, and I mean, heck, I probably never would have heard of Clay, but I got Don't Starve as a PlayStation Plus free game.
Yeah.
And I put so many hours into that. I'd be over at my friend's house, and we would take turns until you died, and we would just sit there and play for a couple of hours at a time. And now, yeah, if I see something that Clay's doing, I'm a little more intrigued.
Well,
I'm interested in finding out.
Sorry. You could play... Hold on. So I clicked... again. Rockstar Games, right? Another one. I just clicked them, and you could actually play the original Grand Theft Auto on PC, and I kind of flipped a little bit, because I still have it. I still have Grand Theft Auto.
Top-down?
Yeah, you bet. It was
Hey,
so fun, actually.
going back on rumors and everything, there's rumors that they're doing
Oh, you can't buy this.
collections of 3 Vice City and San Andreas. No idea if that'll actually happen or not, but now that the rumor has been put out there, if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be disappointed. I had a lot of fun with those games. I would love to see another Vice City-like game in that era from Rockstar. They did I loved Vice City. It was a great game, a great world.
I mean, I haven't played Grand Theft Auto since maybe Vice City, maybe
so much
sooner. But like, I played 5 and I enjoyed that. I mean, and then Rockstar with Red Dead Redemption. Man, that's so stupid fun.
There's a game that I need to remember what it's called, and you need to look it up. Hang on, give me 2 seconds. Talk about something so I'm not just creating dead space here.
Well, if you don't know, me and Smokinace have a Twitch, and Smokinace promised me he's going to stream more often. So you should go follow him, twitch.tv/Smokinace007. And then while you're at it, Scouter75.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Follow Scouter715.
Don't do that, though, for real, though.
Dang it. Okay. We might need to do this a different way really quick. Do a real quick Google search
Uh-huh.
for medieval Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
I believe it starts with an R.
And also, I forgot to mention this. Is the like we talked about the game awards, or what was it called? Rustler, maybe Rustler.
Rustler, yes,
I just searched it.
yes. You should look into that game. I don't remember if it's come out yet or not, but I want to check it out. It's basically
Oh, Call
a
Me Kevin did
medieval.
a YouTube video of it.
It's a medieval top-down
Yes,
Grand Theft Auto type
I'm
game,
I'm curious
and
now.
the tiny bit that I've seen of it, much like Unmetal, is it seems hilarious. You can kind of like a Red Dead Redemption almost. You can hijack people's horses and do it. Just check it out. It looks like a whole lot of fun. Like I said, I don't remember
I
if it's
think this
released
is
yet
the
or
first
not.
time ever Smoking Ace got me to put two. Oh my god, this game is ridiculous.
Told you,
Got
told you.
me
I win. I
got me
win.
into 2 games today. This is a world record. Can we go for 3?
I gotta.
Let's go.
Uh,
Search. Go. Go. Indie game. Go.
uh,
Uh,
Indie game of the year. Blah, blah, blah.
Fishing
New
adventure.
indie game, not undie games. Silly. Uh,
But anyways, the Game Awards last time. I know we talked about last podcast, but I can't remember what. It's like another roller coaster ride, company or roller coaster game that you could actually like dismantle some of the like if you're doing upside down, you could like make it go in the air and like it. I'll have to look that up too. But
Fine. Here you go. 100 days winemaking simulator. There, bam. There's your third one. Add it. Take it.
oops, what the
There you go. You win it. 24-hour stream of winemaking simulator.
why making simulation? Is it? Come on. Yeah, there's.
I know nothing. I literally looked up new indie games, and that was the second one on the list.
I mean, I don't know too much about this upcoming like roller coaster game, but because
Mhm.
I wasn't like thrilled with it when I saw it, and like I would like to like yeah, it looks cool. But I was like, I'll like to see more. Planet Coaster.
So yeah, I mean, as with as with every time, Scouter may have some more to say, but I just want to throw this in here really quick. If there's a game developer that you really like, let us know why you like them. Why are you more likely to check out a game from that developer, or that, like for Scouter, that composer or that art director? Like, I love the artwork of Yoji Shinkawa, who did the illustration and that work for the Metal Gear Solid series. I love his style of artwork. So if I see his name tied to a game, I'm likely to check it out because it looks. I love the look of his art, so I want to see that. So yeah, let us know. Is there a person in the game industry who, if you see their name on something,
Zach
you're more likely to
Fierce.
check it out? Yeah,
He was on our
absolutely.
podcast, so you should check him out.
Yeah, and I've had
He's
a lot of fun with his
he
game.
he's super cool. Like he's super friendly, and oh man, I still owe him my life. Like I owe him because like he. Yeah. Anyways, sorry.
No, he's a perfect example. He's a. I probably wouldn't have even heard of him if it wasn't for you,
You're welcome.
and I'm glad I did because I have played a good amount of Bomb Fest, had a lot of fun with that. I've watched some of his streams and some of the games he's working on, and it's really interesting to see him work.
Yeah.
And just, sorry,
Honestly, sometimes he's on his Discord and like he like just sometimes streams and he just like does it himself and I like join him. I'm
mm,
like, and even then he's like, oh, this is just a session for like. He's definitely like open to the community too of his
yeah,
community. Like
because
he
he
like
loves
messaged
that
me and was like,
feedback.
oh, if you like Photoshop for instance, and like I'm creating something and I'm telling step by step guide of how to do it, and then I put it on his Discord, and
Mm,
other people who have no idea about Photoshop like you can step by step, but obviously make their own thing. You know.
Yeah. No,
Um,
yeah, I've seen some of his
that's
streams where he's
cool.
play testing a game that he's worked on, and he's inviting people on the stream to come and tell him what works in his game, what doesn't work in his game, what should he change, what should he do. He's very responsive
Yeah.
to that feedback, and that's something really cool to see because even like again, for example, Kojima, I think, seems to care about the fans. He wants to make what he wants to make, but he seems to care about the fans. The chances of me talking to him are very slim. He's a very busy person. He's got a huge team, to work with and everything. He unfortunately doesn't have that time to sit down with every individual fan and listen to them. And I hope that Zach Fierce gets to a point in his career that he doesn't have that kind of time. But for the time being, he takes that time to listen to what people are saying, to listen to what he should change, or one of the really nice things that I saw with him is somebody would make a suggestion and he would say like, "Oh, we tried that and it didn't quite work because of this." He didn't
Right.
just dismiss ideas that people had. He said, "Oh, well, yeah, I'll that and try to incorporate it," or we already did that and it didn't work the way we wanted it to. So he didn't just say, "No, your idea is bad. I don't want to listen to it," or "Yep, I'm going to put that in the game." He kind of explained it or tried to give at least a little bit of representation from that person in their answer. That's not how I wanted to say that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's funny because I saw a meme and I posted it in his Discord. And by the way, please check out Zach Fierce because he's on a podcast. You should check it out. He was on a podcast ages ago when Bombfest was come out, and he came on again with this one. It was really great. He
Yeah,
he's always welcoming to, and maybe another time he'll come on again. I don't know. He's
that'd be
cool.
cool. He's a good guy.
Anyways, yeah. Anyway, so I posted his meme, this like game dev, and it's in a bot, like in this box, and is like, maybe I should interact with my community, and like he's like blobbing out of the box, and it's like dead game. You're all lazy. Fix your game, and then never again. Uh, it's obviously, he probably knows he can't make everyone happy, and
Yeah,
you know,
and what I saw from that stream, and I think this is
I think
telling of
it's
the
I think it helps with the workshop items. You could. That's what makes like Parkitect, for instance, so good. Is like, okay, I don't have time to create this or any workshop item.
yeah.
You know, you know, I want zombies in here. Well, you could probably find that in the workshop. Like
Yeah.
Prison Architect. I can't tell you how much workshop items I found because I was like, I don't feel like building a haunted house. I'm gonna search one up because someone already did this.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's very telling of Zach Fierce that when in some of the streams of his that I've been in,
I got to tell him again. We
and
talk about him.
this just shows you kind of that sort of positive energy that he has and that good presence he has. There weren't people in his chat that were doing that, saying, "Oh, your game's terrible. Oh, your game's bad." Everybody was having a good time. Anyone who was making suggestions was making positive suggestions or saying what they liked about this game, that game, anything like that. And it was really nice to see that it wasn't just well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And like I said, I think that's just very telling of the kind of person that he is and the kind of developer that he is. And people that have seen him or spoken with him or have interacted with him in some way know that he genuinely cares and he wants to make the game that he wants to make, but also something that's going to appeal to other people. So he is very willing to listen to that feedback. So I think that just helps him attract more positive people than having those naysayers and things like that in there.
Yeah.
And he just makes fun games. So it's
They're simple, but they're stupid good. Like
it's hard
they're stupid weird. They're stupid like good.
Yeah, it's hard to pick apart a game that's just plain fun. It's hard to nitpick when the game is just fun.
Yeah.
So, So yeah, I know I went on a little Zach Fierce soapbox there, but
Hey,
hey,
I gotta message him again now. So like, we gotta
he's a
listen
good
to their
guy.
podcast. Yeah, no, he again. I owe him like I'm like, dude, I owe you like twice now. Like he's like, no problem. Like I don't know. He's cool and good friend. Obviously, like he didn't have to give me Bombfest for free. And I mean, that's again, I played Bombfest and now I'm advertising. You know,
Yeah, I bought the game
to the
twice.
20
It's a
people
lot of
listen
fun.
to this. 20 million people, obviously, but no.
Ooh.
Obviously, we just the populate. No, I'm
The
joking.
M is silent.
Yeah. Anyways, speaking of yeah, I think this is a good place to end it. I really, the end of the year is coming.
That it is.
We got 3 more months of let's get going here of the Stanley Parable, and no, I'm joking. It was funny because they tweeted like today, if any time this is the time to follow this Twitter account, and I'm like,
Mm.
let's go. No, I'm joking, but
Delayed till 2028.
right now, right, Jesus, but no,
2035.
I I don't know. I'm not. This year was kind of a dud of so far games, and they got something got to step up this year. I don't know how we're gonna do game of the year in 3 months from now, but we'll figure it out. But
We'll get there. We'll
we'll
get
figure
there.
it out. Honestly, I'm excited still about some indie games. I still have my hopes up. Gonna be another Among Us somewhere. Like I said, I'm excited to see the rest of the year. I mean, like we said, maybe the game companies don't have they're very delayed.
Yeah.
Little Sim World was supposed to come out earlier this year. Still says coming soon. Let's Build Zoo was supposed to. These games that I have in my
Yeah,
top.
it's hitting the indie developers and the big company.
Oh, yeah,
How
everyone, because it's just
how many
like
AAA titles have been pushed to 2022 or even further out?
yeah.
It's
So
not.
I think it's gonna be a dud year.
Unfortunately, it definitely it doesn't hit the big AAA companies nearly as hard because they do have such diverse portfolio and all this other stuff as much as it hurts the indie developers. But I hope that all the indie developers out there, they're able to hold on and make it to the release of their game and follow through and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Anyways,
unfortunately, everything going on in the world has really put a hamper on the game
everything.
development world,
Yeah.
until things get a little more under control and all that. But I think we're getting there.
Yeah. Next year be a better year of hopefully games and yeah. We'll see. Anyways, thanks everyone for listening. We're on Spotify, by the way. Search up Robot Attack and you'll find it. If you don't want to see our faces, if you want to see our faces and not, yeah, see our faces, then YouTube. YouTube.com/Scout075. Or both. You could listen to it simultaneously and see if it
Ooh.
syncs up. And obviously it does, but
See if there's any secret hidden
right,
messages in one
maybe
or the
there
other.
is.
Ooh.
Right. Yeah. The code is 538 on the YouTube. On Spotify, this is 838. By the way, no, it's okay.
Oh my goodness.
Enter that
Hang on, I need
somewhere.
to put those in.
He'll enter it somewhere, and you know. Anyways, I'm blabbering. Also, RuneScape is on Steam. I found out that, and I kind of want to
Oh,
make a
yeah.
blast to 2003. It was 2003?
Oh, RuneScape.
Man, God.
I remember
the
one of my
memories.
friends would always mention on AOL Instant Messenger.
Recent.
I would say, hey,
Mixed reviews.
like, hey, what's up? And they would say, oh, just playing. And I
RuneScape.
thought the game was Run Escape until I finally played it eventually, and then I really enjoyed it. One of the only
so
MMOs
good.
that I played for a long time and actually had fun with.
Yes, man. My account. I remember going to like in the area that anyone could kill you, and I had like I didn't really was prepared, but I was like, you know what? I got these scorpions and stuff. I'm gonna go out here, and I'm like got murdered. I'm like, and I lost all my stuff, and I'm like, well, never again.
Heck, you can play RuneScape on your phone now. You can download the app.
And Roller Coaster Classic, Tycoon. Man, I
Yes.
need to buy that game on mobile because I need help. I need to do that. Anyways, check out Smokinace007. He speedruns, and he's a good friend of mine. And check me out.
Smokinace007 on Twitch and YouTube. Make sure to check him out there. Donate to his Extra Life as well.
Don't do that either. I have the gold, sir. It's your turn now to get the gold medal.
Any money to Extra Life is all that matters.
That's true.
Doesn't matter who is.
Our T-shirt. We have merchandising. Our T-shirt goes to Extra Life. So theoretically, if you want to help out this podcast, buy a T-shirt. Send the description below. I don't make any money off of it. It goes straight to Extra Life. And you could have the logo on a T-shirt or a mug. Depends on what your fan, or both. Get both. Ooh. And tell everyone that this is the best podcast ever, because it is. They're
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
But thank you, Smokinace, as usual.
Thank you for having me.
As usual, I appreciate everything. I appreciate you. I appreciate the viewers, because we wouldn't be here without you.
We would just be blabbing to our screen.
We're doing that. Just,
I'm going to do that no matter what.
Yeah, so we're going to do that no matter who listens.
I appreciate you listening to me speak at my screen. So yeah, I'm going to do it regardless, but I appreciate you being there to absorb some of that information.
And then, as we said, any topics you want to talk about, please comment below on YouTube, because I really am struggling with ideas. No, we're not that struggling, but if we haven't talked about a topic you want us to talk about games, then I should really play Metal Gear Solid so we could
have topics. You should, so we can talk. Because I had to play your game and I beat your game, but I know mine's much more difficult.
What is even Metal Gear Solid on? Wait, is it not on Steam?
No.
Who's it on again?
GOG.
Oh, that's right. Okay, sorry. All right, yeah, check out good old games. They're great.
Great website, but a terrible website because they hurt my wallet.
Yeah, honestly.
Not a sponsor and not to super plug, but yeah, if there's an old game that you remember that just like popped in your head that you want to see, go over to Good Old Games. There's a good chance that you can get it there. Yeah. It's not a guarantee, but look there if you can't find it anywhere else.
Honestly, man.
I found Shadows of the Empire, which is a fantastic N64 game that's very difficult to play on PC, at least the default settings. I haven't tried to redo it, but I found it on Good Old Games.
Good Old Games, if you have money, call me. For real, because we will plug you all the time.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, I love that website.
It's anyways. See, now I'm at it. Now I'm gonna look at what you've done. All right,
you're welcome.
Metal Gear Solid 2. I need to buy it. Metal Gear Solid 3. No, I'm joking.
Sadly, Metal Gear Solid 3 isn't on there, but I'm waiting for the day. That's why I've been playing it on the old PS3 down here.
No, I've only been playing. I have Empire Earth. That's the only one that I was like, yes.
All right.
Anyway, end this podcast. Thank you for listening. We love you. We appreciate you. Don't change a thing. Be who you are. Donate to Extra Life, because sick and injured kids need help too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Doesn't matter if you don't donate to our Extra Life. Just donate to some Extra Lifer.
Yeah.
Today, right now. Do it. $1. What are you going to do with $1? Nothing. Give it to somebody.
Start your own Extra Life campaign for free. And donate to your own one.
Good,
you can pick whatever hospital you want. Children's Miracle Network. Great organization.
Fun facts. Facts. All right. We love you. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.